tonight I am Nantucket bound.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is the midweek episode where we're going to focus on a grooming or shaving product, and today I'm so excited to be talking about, I'll shove my ships to the center of the table right here. Ships, maybe that was a Freudian slip. This is the best aftershave company in the world, okay? And they put out the best product, and that's not taking a shot at any of the other brands that I've reviewed for Panad or Booster or both companies I really like. But I think when you're comparing raw quality and price, there's nothing better than the brand Captain's Choice and the 3 aftershaves that they currently have on the market. And the owner of the company, Scott, like me, is a member of the website Badger and Blade, which you haven't already joined. If you haven't done that, you should do immediately. It is the best shaving website forum in the world, and it's just about men discussing everything from sports to fragrances, of course shaving techniques and brands and product reviews and all that good stuff. And women are not excluded. You can join too if you're a woman. And on that board, the Captain's Choice products are very highly regarded, and I told Scott that I wanted to feature his products on my show, and I wanted to hopefully get samples of all 3, and he was just pleasant and gracious enough to send me full-size bottles of all 3. I can't tell you how excited that I was when I opened the package and how lucky I feel to have these. And I always like to find inspiration behind a product like this, a new product like this especially, if you will. And the inspiration behind Captain's Choice was Scott, who's in the food service business for over 25 years now and lives in Illinois, decided in his 50s that it was finally time for him to pick up an aftershave. And he went to Walgreens and smelled what they had to offer, and he wasn't impressed. And I totally get that. I'm not impressed with their stuff either. If he had gone to Pasteur Pharmacy, maybe there wouldn't be a Captain's Choice, which would suck for the wet shaver. But anyway, after that journey to Walgreens, Scott sort of thought he could do better and gave it a go. And he went through a bunch of formulations, and he said for months his garbage smelled great. But eventually he found a formula that he really liked, and he sent it out to Badger and Blade members who implored him to go all the way with it once they smelled it. And the rest is, as they say, history. Now, all of the Captain's Choice scents come in these beautiful apothecary style dark brown glass bottles with really nice, well done labels. They recently redid their labels, and I think that they did a really good job with these. They each retail for $17.95, but you can get them with a vintage flask for $34.95 if you want. I'm going to post the link to their web store at the description of this video, but please be aware, all my New Yorkers and New Jersey people, that these are all now available at Pasteur pharmacies. I know the one on 34th Street has it, and I think they even have testers out, and I think the one uptown, if they don't have it, I think they'll be getting it soon. Now, these come in 3 varieties. All of them have a really simple ingredient list of pure grain alcohol, Catodine and bay rum, I believe both have bay rum in them. They have witch hazel, essential oils, and extracts and glycerin, okay? Not filled up with a ton of preservatives and crap like that. Now, the first one to come out, the original, was the bay rum. And bay rum is just a classic men's aftershave scent and cologne style. It's used in many other products as well, including deodorant, shaving soap, shaving creams, etc. And with the whole Mad Men, Don Draper, 50s men's products resurgent that we've had over the last 5 years, you know, classic cocktails and fashion and bathroom products, bay rum's back in a big way. And bay rum originally was produced in St. Thomas and other West Indian islands from rum and berries of the West Indian bay tree. And then often citrus and other essential oils were blended in. And for extra fragrant strength, you'll find often lime, oil of clove, cinnamon. These don't have cloves in them, which some people really like, some people don't. It's up to you. I've got about 8 or 9 different types of bay rum aftershaves and colognes, from big brands to brands you've never heard of. And I gotta say, guys, the Captain's Choice Bay Rum is just richer, and the scent lingers longer, and there's a depth to the scent that none of the other ones have. And they just fade too quickly. They're kind of one-dimensional. There are nuances to this Bay Rum that just don't exist in the other brands. And of course, the beauty of a great aftershave is that nice little burn you get when you apply it to freshly shaved skin. Now, some people dislike that. Some people love it. Some people really love it. And for those that really love it, Captain's Choice came out with their second aftershave, simply titled Cat O' Nine Tails. Now, Cat O' Nine was, of course, a whip used in the Middle Ages, a whip with 9 tails attached to it to inflict maximum damage and injury on whoever was being flogged with it. If you ever seen Passion of Christ, they were beating Jesus with that for a good portion of the movie. I obviously don't mean to laugh about that, but that very violent movie, by the way. Let's get off of that. So why name an aftershave after a sadistic weapon? Well, for good reason. It was developed for those who felt they needed a more bracing aftershave. I'm one of those guys who really appreciates the burn of aftershave. It's also sort of a litmus test for how good of a shave I got. If my face is on fire, I know I probably applied too much pressure on the razor, or maybe my face didn't react great to the cream that I use. But if I get a nice, pleasant, common burn of the alcohol on freshly shaved skin, well, then I really enjoy that and take it as a job well done and wear it as a badge of honor, if you will. The scent of Cat O' Nine Tails is a deeper and darker bay rum scent. A lot of you guys know how fragrances like Dior Homme and L'Instant by Guerlain have extreme and intense versions. This is sort of like bay rum extreme. I would bet there's a higher concentration of essential oils in this scent, perhaps. And what I liked about this one is like a good hot sauce. You don't feel that entire wrath of the chili immediately. You know how it sort of builds up and burns? That's what you get with Cat O' Nine. You apply it to your face, and at first probably think, yeah, no big deal. But give it like 2 to 5 minutes, and it really starts to increase and build up. And that warmth on your face is really nice and bracing. Cat O' Nine, as of today, is, I think, the best aftershave I've ever used. I've used them from everyone: Razor Rock, Trumper, Truefit, Taylor, D.R. Harris, Penhaligon's, Flores, Marisol, etc., etc. To me, this is the best. And not to be forgotten, guys, is their newest addition to the Captain's Choice family, Captain's Choice Lime. And of course, lime does go great with rum. And there's really 2 ways you can do a lime aftershave or fragrance, for that matter. You can like it light and wispy, like Penhaligon's extract of limes, or you can give it some bowls, like Crown Perfumery did with Spice Lime. And thankfully, in my opinion at least, Captain's Choice went with the darker, deeper route with their lime, made a lime aftershave with some real depth and complexity. This has got a great, like, lime rind scent, and it has a consistency of other Captain's Choice aftershaves, and this is my second favorite of the 3. Normally at the end of these midweek shows, we either look at some fragrance samples or grooming or shaving products. I sort of opine on whether I think you should try, buy, or pass on a product. Normally I'm pretty hesitant to say go out and buy, but if you are in the market for an aftershave, I would definitely recommend picking these up. The link is in the description, and you can go to past stores to try these out. If you want to try these out, as I said, you can go to past stores, but you can also go to Captain's Choice website and pick up a sampler pack of all 3 aftershaves, a 1/4 ounce of each one, for $11.75. So it's almost an entire ounce of product for less than $12, and that's a great way to go into this in case you're not sure which one you want. I recommend you just pull the trigger on all of them, but if you can only get one, pick up the Cat O' Nine and let your masochistic side come out. Anyway, that is this week's episode of Maximilian Must Know. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks, Scott, from Captain's Choice, for me personally, for sending these to me. I'm enjoying them so much, and I've given a few little samples out to my friends, and I know they're going to become customers, and they're going to past stores to pick some up. So, great brand, great job, and a great product. One I can really stand behind and put my Max seal of approval on this guy. Anyway, that is this week's episode of Maximilian Must Know. Stay tuned for the fragrance review this week. From first one I'm doing from the House of Nasamato. Very excited to be doing that one, and we will be back next week for another grooming episode of Maximilian Must Know. I am Maximilian. Thank you so much for watching.